Lily's dishes are delicious. Delicious and beautiful in this case. I decorated this cake with edible lace, and I made two different kinds of lace. Half of the cake I decorated one way, half of the cake the other way. I can't decide which one I like better. To make the lace, I bought this product from Cake Lace, and everything is pre-mixed already. So the container contains two packages, the little bag with the powder and the liquid. So I started by putting 40 milliliters of hot water and then 4 tablespoons of the powder. And the directions are asking to mix it with the actually hand mixer. So I follow the directions, and then I added the liquid. And because my mixture here is white, I decided to color it. So I wanted to make a black lace, but I put a few drops of black, was not enough, so I ended up putting a lot more to get that nice black color lace. And mix it again really well until the color is incorporated, then it's time to spread it on the mat. So what I did, I took some of the mixture and I was spreading it on the mat here. And I was using the offset spatula. You can use whichever tool you want. But what you have to do is go from every direction, from side to side, up and down. What you don't want to do, you don't want to overfill the compartments there or to underfill it. So by going in side to side, everything has to be nicely, evenly covered. If you have too much when you peel the lace off, it's not going to look pretty. And if you don't have enough, then you have an incomplete lace. With this mat here, I can get the 3 pieces of lace. The side ones are the same and the center design is different. I'm not going to make the center one. I'm not interested in that one. I'm going to make only the identical ones. And this portion here that I made gives me quite a bit of a lace. And because I have it, I'm going to make some other designs that I have. This lace can be stored in an airtight container. You can put it nicely in there with some parchment paper around and use it a few weeks later. And now I'm going to transfer it on a tray that's covered up with parchment paper, and I'm going to let it dry overnight. And like I said, because I have the excess material, I'm going to make some extra lace here. This particular mold I got a while back, but I haven't made it yet. It just looks so pretty. So I'm curious how it's going to look on the cake. On the mold it looks very nice, but I'm not sure in reality how it's going to look once I put it on the cake. And since I have extra, I'm going to make one more here. Obviously, I won't be able to use all of them for the cake that I'm making, but at least I have them ready just in case if I decide to change my mind and use a different design. So like I said, they're all filled up, and now I'm going to let them dry overnight. And before I decide to pull the lace out of the mold, I test the corner here to make sure that it's set and rubbery. And as you can see, it is. So I'm gently pulling it out of the mold. This particular lace, it's easy to take it out because it has the same thickness everywhere. So it makes it so much easier. And see how easy it is? You just peel it off and here's your beautiful lace. And I'm doing the same thing with the other side. And then I'm going to place them on a parchment paper and get busy removing the other two that I have. I've tried to bake them before, to put them in the oven, and I was not successful. Whenever I placed it in the oven, no matter what I did, I overbaked it. Some areas were overbaked, some areas underbaked, and I was not happy with the results. But letting it dry overnight, it always works for me. And look at this, it's nicely moldable. You can work, it's flexible. You can put it on the cake, no problem. And if you decide to store it, just put it in an airtight container with some parchment paper lined in between, and it's going to stay for a couple of weeks. So let's do the other one now. And like I said, I have to test the corner there and gently peel it off. This one comes off fairly easily. It's the next one that's gonna give me a little bit more problem probably. This one has different thicknesses. The flowers are a little bit thicker, while the petals of the flower are a little bit thinner. So I have to go very gently. And one good thing about a silicone mold is you can bend the mold and try to help that lace come out a little easier. And be creative, try to go from a different side, different corner, whichever works it easier. Just don't rip that lace. Came out nicely. Now let me peel the other one. This is the tricky one. This lace is so dainty. All these little pieces here are so delicate. I have to be so careful. Yeah, and I love the way it looks and it's so gorgeous, but I'm afraid I'm gonna rip it off, so I gotta go very slow. Even though you see me going fast, it's because I have to speed up my video so I don't have to keep you here for a long time, but you get the idea. Take your time, pull that lace nicely, and then you're ready to decorate the cake. And here they are. They're so pretty. I can't decide which one I want to use, but what I think I'll do, I'm going to use two different laces. So I'm going to make half of the cake one way and half the other way. This way we'll get to examine which one looks prettier in reality on a cake, because on the paper here they all look beautiful. And my cake is made already. I had it in the freezer for about 15 to 20 minutes just to make sure it's frozen. This way when I place the lace on it, it's not going to stick to the lace, so I can work comfortable here. This is a pink velvet cake with passion fruit frosting. So if you want the recipe, I can post a different video of the recipe. So half of the lace I placed on one side, and I'm going to place the other half of the lace on the other side. I wish my table wouldn't turn now, but I have to work with it turning. So as you can see, one side will look one way and the other one the other way. I just need to cut those extra corners here. Let's take this part off. I need an extra pair of hands to hold my cake. Let's see if I can do this without damaging the cake. Yep. Just have to push it a little bit into the frosting. And I have to cut the other side. It's gorgeous. I can't decide which side looks better. This lace design is a little bit longer than the other one, so I had to fold it a little bit on top of the cake so I can hide the fact that it's longer. And now I have to hide that indiscrepancy there. So what I'll do next, I'm going to take a pastry bag and I'm going to use the Wilton tip, the 3D. I'm going to place some frosting inside this piping bag and then create a design just to cover up that area to make it look uniform. This way nobody gets to see that one lace is longer than the other. And let's put some fruit on top here. You can put any combination of fruit you want, whatever looks prettier to your eye, and here it is. My project is done. Isn't that beautiful? So which lace do you think is prettier? I have a hard time deciding. I like them both. And actually I like the idea of having half of the cake one way and half of the cake the other way. And it's time to cut it and enjoy it. But I think I have to remove some of the fruit that I just put on, otherwise it's going to roll all over the table. And my slice is out. Look at that, beautiful. And let's see how it tastes. Awesome, beautiful.